The lights were low, but the tension was blinding. When Teyana Taylor looked into that camera last night, something in her eyes told you this wasn't another celebrity rant. It wasn't a promo. It wasn't clout. It was personal. And the way her voice cracked before—
Yeah, that's she's delivering a spirit amongst young girls. She's introducing. We've had a gangster spirit. The gangster spirit damn near wiped the young black males out. This spirit is fit to do a number on the young black girl.
Before she even said a name, well, almost said a name, let everyone watching know that this family had just crossed a line they may never come back from. Because if you've been following this saga, you already know the ground has been shaking for weeks. First, it was the money. Then the contracts. Then the cryptic posts from her sister about blood not meaning loyalty. And let's not forget her mother's emotional live where she insisted she'd done everything to protect her child, even if that meant making hard choices behind closed doors. But what did Teyana reveal this time? It wasn't just about family hurt feelings. It was about celebrities. Powerful ones. Connected ones. And a dangerous secret that, according to her, has been buried for years. She didn't scream. She didn't curse. That's what made it worse. She leaned in and said, "I kept quiet because I was told it would destroy everything. Not just careers. Families. Everything." That word hit like a bomb. Because now the question isn't just who she's talking about. The real question is, why did her own family beg her to stay silent? And what are they so afraid will come out next? Teyana didn't plan for it to unravel like this. That's what someone close to the family whispered to us late last night. She thought she could control the narrative. She didn't realize the narrative would start controlling her. And that's where this story really begins. After that chilling live, when she hinted at celebrities tied to a dangerous secret, the house she grew up calling safe started to feel like enemy territory. Sources say her phone didn't stop ringing for hours. Not from friends checking in. From lawyers. From managers. From people who had never called her directly before. One insider claims the first call came from someone connected to a major production company. The message was simple: tell her to slow down. Slow down. As if she was speeding toward a cliff. But here's what most people don't understand about Teyana and her family dynamic. This isn't just a mother-daughter bond. It's a business partnership. For years, her mother wasn't just mom. She was manager, gatekeeper, negotiator. The woman in every room where contracts were signed. And that arrangement worked, until it didn't. Because money changes power. And power changes trust. A leaked email, allegedly from a former assistant, surfaced 2 days after her live. In it, the assistant wrote, there were meetings she wasn't invited to. Deals made in her name that she only found out about later. She started questioning things, and that's when the tension really started. If that's true, this isn't just about a dangerous secret in Hollywood. It's about control inside the family. Her sister, who always played the quieter role publicly, reportedly felt overshadowed for years. According to someone who grew up around them, the sister felt like Teyana was the golden child. Everything revolved around her career. Her image. Her protection. And when cracks started showing, it was like the whole family identity was at risk. Because when your brand is built on unity, cracks look like betrayal. And that's exactly what started happening. The first real explosion happened during what was supposed to be a private family dinner. No cameras. No phones. Just the three of them and a longtime family friend. But according to a source who claims they were in the next room, voices rose quickly. You signed it without telling me, Teyana allegedly said. Her mother's response. I signed it to keep you safe. Safe from what? The friend reportedly tried to mediate, but her sister jumped in. You think you're the only one who sacrificed, she allegedly snapped. You think. This didn't cost us anything. That line keeps resurfacing. Cost. What did it cost them? Within hours of that dinner, cryptic social media posts began. Her sister posted a black screen with white text. Some people don't understand the difference between protection and betrayal. Fans immediately assumed it was aimed at Teyana. Then came the texts. Screenshots flooded social media from an anonymous account claiming to have access to an old family group chat. In one message, allegedly from her mother, it read, "We don't speak on certain names. Not now. Not ever." Another message, allegedly from Teyana, read, "I'm tired of pretending everything is fine." If those messages are real, they show something deeper than a simple disagreement. They show years of tension about silence. And silence seems to be the center of this entire storm. The dangerous secret she hinted at. Insiders say it ties back to a series of exclusive industry gatherings from nearly a decade ago. Private estates. Luxury vacations. Contracts signed under the guise of opportunities. One former stylist, who asked to remain anonymous, said, "There were always rumors about those nights. About who attended. About what was expected. And about how certain young artists were pressured to be agreeable, if they wanted doors to stay open." Agreeable. That word feels heavy. According to the same stylist, Teyana initially brushed off her discomfort. She trusted the people her family told her to trust. That's how it works when your mom is your manager. You assume she's protecting you. But what happens when protection starts feeling like exposure? A close friend of the sister reportedly confided that she believed Teyana was exaggerating the situation. She thinks Teyana is rewriting history because she's angry, the friend said. She believes their mom did what any mother would do in a cutthroat industry. And there it is again. Justification. Because from the mother's perspective, sources say she was navigating rooms filled with powerful people. Turning down invitations could mean losing funding. Losing partnerships. Losing millions. She was playing chess, one insider explained. Not checkers. But chess requires sacrifice. And sometimes, the pawn doesn't realize it's a pawn until years later. The situation escalated when Teyana reportedly confronted her mother about a specific contract. One tied to a partnership with a well-known celebrity figure, someone who has since been publicly praised for philanthropy and mentorship. In that contract, there was allegedly a clause about discretion regarding private events. Discretion. Her mother allegedly insisted it was standard language. Everyone signs NDAs, she supposedly argued. That's how this business works. But Teyana saw it differently. She started asking why discretion was emphasized more than safety, the former assistant claimed. That's when things got ugly. Ugly might be an understatement. According to a source close to the family, Teyana broke down during one confrontation. She was crying, asking, "Why didn't you tell me everything?" And her mom kept saying, "Because you wouldn't have understood." Imagine hearing that from your own mother. You wouldn't have understood. The sister reportedly sided with their mom at first. "You're being dramatic," she allegedly told Teyana. "You had the same opportunities we all benefited from." Benefited. That word cut deep. Because if Teyana now believes those opportunities came with hidden risks, then what the family calls benefit, she might call damage. And that difference in perception is tearing them apart. Meanwhile, social media has turned into a battlefield. Fans are choosing sides. Old videos are dissected. One clip from years ago resurfaced where Teyana looked visibly uncomfortable during a red carpet interview next to a powerful industry figure. At the time, it meant nothing. Now, people are calling it a red flag. Her mother has stayed mostly silent since her emotional 2 a.m. live. But insiders say she's furious. Not just at Teyana, but at the leaks. She feels betrayed, a family acquaintance shared. She thinks someone inside their circle is feeding information to bloggers. And that might be the most dangerous twist yet. Because if someone close to them is leaking details, this isn't just a family argument anymore. It's sabotage. The sisters' latest post only fueled that theory. A single sentence: blood doesn't guarantee loyalty. Loyalty. That word has been echoing through this entire saga like a warning. The question now isn't whether there's a secret. It's who controls it. Because if Teyana decides to name names, she doesn't just risk industry backlash. She risks completely shattering her family. And if her mother decides to defend herself publicly with receipts, this could turn into the kind of war that leaves no survivors. As of tonight, they are not speaking. No calls. No texts. No family dinners. Just silence. And in this family, silence has never meant peace. It means someone is preparing their next move. And if the rumors are true, that more documents exist, that more witnesses are ready to talk, then what we've seen so far is just the surface. Because secrets buried for years don't stay buried once the ground starts cracking. And right now, that ground is shaking. By the third day of silence, the house didn't just feel divided. It felt haunted. Haunted by things unsaid. Haunted by old decisions no one wanted to revisit. Haunted by the simple fact that once a daughter questions her mother's protection, there is no going back to innocence. Teyana wasn't posting, but that didn't mean she was inactive. According to someone claiming to work inside her legal team, documents were being reviewed line by line. Contracts from years ago. Amendments. Addendums. Clauses that once seemed harmless now reading like coded warnings. One insider told us, she's not emotional right now. She's focused. And that's what's scaring people. Because when anger turns into clarity, it becomes dangerous. Meanwhile, her mother was reportedly holding her own meetings. Not with family. With advisors. Old industry contacts. People who have weathered scandals before and survived by controlling timing. She feels like she built this, a longtime family friend shared. She sacrificed her own reputation to make sure her daughter's career soared. Now she feels like the villain in a story she thought she was protecting everyone from. And that's where this drama cuts deepest. Because for older viewers who've raised daughters, who fought in rooms their children never saw, this isn't just gossip. It's painful. It forces a question no mother wants to face. Can protecting your child ever become the very thing that hurts them? The sister, caught in the middle but choosing a side, went live unexpectedly one evening. No makeup. No filter. Just raw frustration. "You all don't know what really happened," she said, voice shaking. "You don't know the pressure. You don't know the threats. You don't know what it takes to keep a name clean in this business." Threats. That word froze the comments. She quickly backtracked. "I'm not saying anyone did anything illegal," she clarified. "I'm saying it's complicated." Complicated is the word families use when the truth is too heavy to say out loud.
All right, y'all, we gotta
But
behave.
social media wasn't
behave.
buying simplicity.
This wasn't a
Fans clipped that moment and replayed it thousands of times. What threats? People demanded. Who was threatening who? And then, as if on cue, another leak surfaced. This time, it wasn't a screenshot. It was a description of a private voice note allegedly sent from the mother to Teyana during one of their heated exchanges. In the alleged recording, the mother says, "If you start naming people, you're not just risking lawsuits. You're risking things you don't understand." That sentence changed everything. Because lawsuits are one thing. But things you don't understand. That sounds bigger. Darker. Sources now claim the dangerous secret Teyana hinted at involves not just private gatherings, but financial entanglements, investments that tied her brand to other celebrities in ways the silence didn't explode. It cracked. By the time the third wave of leaks hit, the family wasn't arguing in private anymore. They were moving like opponents in a chess match neither one could afford to lose. And that's when the real fracture happened. It started with a single document. Not posted publicly. Not officially confirmed. But described in enough detail by multiple insiders that it sent shockwaves through the internet. According to sources, the document was a mutual protection agreement signed years ago between Teyana, her management, which included her mother, and several high-profile celebrity entities. The language wasn't criminal. It was strategic. It reportedly outlined shared business interests, event appearances, joint ventures, and strict confidentiality regarding private lifestyle matters and affiliated gatherings. Lifestyle matters. That phrase lit social media on fire. Fans began dissecting everything from old party photos to red carpet interviews. Who was standing next to whom? Who seemed distant? Who looked uncomfortable? Old images resurfaced of Teyana at private estates, smiling but stiff. Comment sections filled with theories. X threads went viral overnight. But what truly escalated the tension wasn't public speculation. It was what happened inside the family home. A source claiming to have been present during the final in-person confrontation described it as quietly devastating. No screaming. No glass thrown. Just exhaustion. Teyana allegedly placed a copy of that agreement on the table and asked her mother one question. "Why didn't you tell me what I was really signing?" And for the first time, according to the insider, her mother didn't immediately defend herself. She cried. Not dramatic sobbing. Not performative heartbreak. The kind of crying that comes from years of carrying something heavy. "You were young," her mother reportedly said. "You were talented. And there were wolves in those rooms. I thought if I stood next to you, I could control the wolves. But what if standing next to the wolves meant feeding them something anyway?" That's the question that shattered everything. Because Teyana's version of events is no longer about name it. It's about consent. It's about transparency. It's about whether protection, without full truth, is still protection at all. The sister, who had been defending their mother online, reportedly snapped during that meeting. "You act like you were kidnapped," she allegedly told Teyana. "You were winning awards. Buying houses. Smiling for cameras. We all benefited. Benefited." There it was again. The word that splits this family straight down the middle. From the sister's perspective, the dangerous secret wasn't abuse. It wasn't coercion. It was compromise. The kind celebrities make every day to stay relevant. To stay funded. To stay protected. But Teyana doesn't see it that way anymore. And once someone reframes their past as survival instead of success, you can't force them back into gratitude. Meanwhile, outside that house, the industry was shifting. A well-known publicist, someone connected to two of the unnamed celebrities rumored to be tied to this secret, released a statement emphasizing ethical standards and false narratives driven by personal disputes. Notice what it didn't include. Specific denials. No mention of the agreement. No mention of the gatherings. Just a broad dismissal. That silence felt rehearsed. And then came the social media explosion that no one saw coming. A former dancer, who had briefly worked on a tour associated with one of those private circles, posted a cryptic message: "NDAs don't erase memories." Within hours, her comments were flooded. Was she confirming something? Was she just chasing attention? She followed it with another post: "Some of us signed because we were told it was standard. We didn't realize it was armor." Armor for who? The phrase "armor for who" began trending. Because suddenly, this wasn't just about Teyana's family. It was about a system. Older fans began drawing parallels to other eras, other industries, other moments when young talent trusted powerful rooms and only later understood the cost. But inside this particular family, things had reached a point of no return. Teyana's mother reportedly sought mediation. Not legal. Personal. She wanted a sit-down with just the three of them. No advisors. No phones. And for a moment, it looked like healing might be possible. According to a source close to the situation, her mother said something that stunned both daughters. "I was afraid of losing you to them," she admitted. "So I made sure we stayed close to them instead." That confession landed heavy. Because it revealed the root of everything. Fear. Fear of being shut out. Fear of being replaced. Fear of watching your daughter's career collapse, because you refused to play the game. But fear-driven decisions don't always look like love in hindsight. Teyana allegedly responded softly this time. "You didn't lose me to them," she said. "You lost me when you didn't trust me with the truth." That line, if true, is the emotional core of this entire saga. The sister broke down after that. For years, she had believed their mother was the hero, the shield, the strategist who made sure they all ate. Now she was forced to sit with the possibility that protection and compromise had blurred into something else. And the most painful part: none of them fully agree on what that something else is. The next twist came unexpectedly. An attorney representing an unnamed celebrity entity reportedly reached out, not with a threat, but with a warning. If specific allegations were made publicly, appropriate legal remedies would follow. Appropriate legal remedies. Another vague phrase. Another layer of pressure. But instead of scaring Teyana into silence, insiders say it hardened her resolve. She's tired of being managed, one source shared. By the industry. By contracts. Even by her own family. And that's the true climax of this story. It's not about a single secret. It's about autonomy. For the first time in her career, Teyana appears ready to control her own narrative, even if that means burning bridges that built her foundation. Her mother has reportedly stepped back from managerial duties. The sister has deactivated her account temporarily. And Teyana? She posted one final message late last night. No explanation. No names. Just this: truth doesn't destroy families. Lies do. The comments exploded instantly. Some called her brave. Some called her ungrateful. Some accused her of tearing down the very woman who lifted her up. And maybe that's the tragedy here. There is no clean villain. There is no spotless hero. Just three women bound by blood, money, ambition, and choices made under pressure. As of now, no official accusations have been filed. No lawsuits have been announced. No criminal claims confirmed. But the tension remains. Because secrets don't disappear when they are hinted at. They linger. And if even part of what insiders suggest is true, that contracts were signed in youth without full transparency, that discretion was prioritized over discussion, then this isn't just family drama. It's generational. It's about mothers navigating dangerous rooms. It's about daughters realizing too late what those rooms cost. It's about sisters who benefited from silence now questioning whether silence was ever safe. And as the industry watches quietly, one truth stands clear. The most dangerous part of any secret isn't what happened. It's who decides to speak. Right now, that decision hangs in the balance. And if Teyana takes the final step, if she names names, if she releases documents, this story won't just shake a family. It will test how far celebrity protection really goes. Because once one person refuses to stay quiet, others start remembering. And memory, unlike contracts, can't be signed away. If you've been sitting there listening to this and feeling that knot in your stomach, you're not alone. Because this isn't just another headline. This isn't just celebrity gossip you scroll past and forget by tomorrow morning. This is a family standing at the edge of something that could change everything they've built: money, legacy, reputation, relationships. And here's the part that should really stay with you: we still don't know the full truth. We've heard hints. We've seen tears. We've watched sisters turn on each other, and a mother forced to defend choices she once believed were love. We've seen powerful names stay quiet when most people would be shouting their innocence from the rooftops. That silence, it means something. The next move in this story could be explosive. If documents surface, if names are finally spoken, if someone else from those private circles decides to talk, this won't just be family drama anymore. It will be an industry reckoning. So don't treat this like background noise. If you believe secrets this big shouldn't stay buried, hit like. If you have thoughts about who's protecting who, or who might be telling the truth, leave them in the comments. I want to know where you stand. And most importantly, subscribe and turn on notifications right now. Because when the next piece drops, and it will, you do not want to miss it. This family's story is still unfolding. And the most shocking chapter might be the one we haven't heard yet.